Hello. How are ya? Surprise Sunday, fun day, live on brows. So give a second for people to pop in. I meant to do a tutorial Tuesday. It's Sunday on brows. It's been that kind of week. So we'll just get started here in a second. So if you pop in, say hey, let me know you're here. If you're watching on the replay, put hashtag replay so I know that you watched. All right, I'm just gonna invite a couple friends, see who's around. All right, cool. So say hey. Again, this is my VIP, so I know it'll be a small group, but we're gonna do a little tutorial on brows by request. I put it out to you all, what you all wanted a tutorial on next, and you said brows. So I'm gonna show you how I do my brows, and then show you another technique that I don't use, but that might be better for you. So if you pop in, make sure you say hey in the comments or drop an emoji or something just so I know if I can see comments, because sometimes I can't in the groups. So just to kind of let you know what I'm going to use today. Hey Lisa, I'm going to use the Moonstruck, you can see mine's Well Loved, the light palette for our brow palette. This is the lightest shade. There's a medium and a dark shade depending on your hair color. Hey Emily. So this is what I'm primarily going to use. I do have a brow pencil, and I'll talk about it with a spoolie here in a minute and when I use that. And I'm actually going to also show you something I used to use when I first started out. I don't really use it much now, but these are brow stencils. So if you can't it's difficult in the beginning, brow stencils are a super great way to start out, and there's like 5 different shapes of your brow, so they have like a real thin one all the way up to a thick one. So these are great, and they're super inexpensive, and you can use any kind of brow product you already have to fill it in. It's not a stamp. You know, you've seen the stamp ones, I'm assuming. All right, so I'm going to show you kind of what I do to start off my brows. And we have a new brush coming out next week, and it's going to have a spoolie on the end. So this is our brow brush, but the next one next week is going to have a spoolie because I have to use 2 things, and I want to be efficient. So I always brush my brows up to make them look a little more thick. I'm going to brush them out again anyways. So brush on top. And I do get my brows waxed to probably once a month, maybe a little over than that. And then I pluck them with tweezers, any kind of stray guys. All right, so this is what I'm going to use. I'm going to go in with this darker shade. These are numbered, by the way, 1, 2, 3, 4. If you can count, you can figure it out. But I'm going to go in with number 2 with this fine end. I'm trying to do this. So it's got a fine end. And I'm going to show you. So I outline my brow with a darker shade. So I really just, it's kind of like coloring. Hey Jody. So I'm really just going to go right along the top and just do a line, like a top line right there, a straight line. And then the same here in the back, the tail. And my tail kind of like, because I'm getting older and my brows are a little more sparse, it goes away for some reason there. So I'll fill it. I'll show you how I fill it in a minute. So I kind of go down and just, so you see, I just drew a top line and another line right there. Amy, this is in the new Kudos, and it's kiss proof. Watch. Isn't that cool? See? No. It's metallic. I'm loving it. I forget what the color is. Let me see. Compassionate. I love it too. So pretty. It's a powder. It goes powder to cream. All right, so I did the top line, and then now again I'm going to go just to the bottom and do the same technique. And usually it doesn't take me this long. It's just I'm talking to you all at the same time. But I will admit, brows take me longer than anything else I do. So, and then I'm just outlining. So all of that with that darker shade right here is the outline. So you can see the difference. Don't worry, I'm not done. But that's how I kind of know where I'm going to go. And it doesn't have to be perfect. because I'm going to show you how to clean it up and I'm going to show you how to fill it in. So if you want to make it go longer out and make it more thin out here, you can do that. You know, that's up to you on your style. Again, if you're popping in and you don't know kind of what kind of style, you could take these little guys off. Let me show you, see if I can show you. These are brow stencils. I'm going to try to pick one. 5 is closer to my size of my eye, but I want to show you what they look like, because I think brows are a real struggle for people. And they, you know, it's especially intimidating. They don't want to have them too dark and they don't want to have them too light. So you see this one's like, and it matches right up to my brow. And these little lines here are there for a reason, because that's where your brow should start on your nose, right there on that line. It should, the high arch should be right there, and then the end should be where that last stencil line is. So it kind of lets you know, it gives you an idea. And so you could just take this, put this on your eye, and then fill it in the way I just did it. So again, it's really helpful when you're starting out. All right, so now you can see how much I use this color. A lot. This is the lightest shade, and this is how I fill it in. So I just, again, I kind of dabble it in there, and I go back and I start with the tail of my brow, and I really just do it like I'm coloring. Just filling that in where I just traced it out. So again, just filling it in, and we're going to use a spoolie in a minute so to make it look a little more natural. And everybody has a different preference. If you want it super bold, you rock that bold look. I like, because my hair's blonder, I like it to be just a little bit lighter. So again, I'm just filling it in. All the way up. If you're here, make sure you say hey. Did y'all catch my live last night? I did a gold mask. It was friggin' awesome, and my face feels so good today. I'm excited to try it again. So you see, I just kind of filled all of that in. And then the one thing, I don't know if you noticed, when I got to the front, my hair grows up here, straight up. So I just take the brush and just do like a hair-like stroke. And I apply it all in a hair-like stroke, just small little strokes, and I just brush up. So look at the difference. That's a big, big difference, right? So the way I like to do my, at this point, is that I like to take the spoolie on a, this is like a regular brow liner. This is, again, we have a lighter shade, medium shade, and a darker shade. And I just take the brow spoolie, and I just kind of finely brush through it, just to make it look a little bit more natural and to get any heavy buildup that might have been in any certain area, so that it doesn't look too thick in certain areas. And if you've seen somebody with brows, that sometimes it can be thicker that way. I guess that's the poor description, but I hope you know what I mean. So this is a wax, and so I take just my finger. You can do a brush, but I find that if I use a brush, I brush out the product I just put in. So the wax there is kind of to set it. So I just put a little bit on my finger, and I just dab it on my brow, and that just sets that powder so that it doesn't move throughout the day, and it stays where I want it to throughout the day. Hey, Gail. So you can kind of see, can you see the difference? Give me some hearts, give me some love. Tell me if you can see the difference. And so again, this is the lightest brow palette. And to me, the brow really shapes the face. I mean, you can see, let's do a little difference here. Like how different, I don't know if the lighting's working. I mean, that is so different. I know the white is messing it up, but so that's how I do it. Now, the other things that are in here, and I don't use the pink as much. Some people like to put pink right underneath their brow. I use this highlighter one, again, with my finger. I just dab a little bit of highlight right underneath the brow. I'm not going to carve it out with concealer right now. I would do that normally before I put my eye makeup on. I would do my brows first, carve it out with concealer just to make it real crisp, and then do my eye makeup. But because I already have my makeup on from church, I'm not going to do that right now. But I'll try to do a live and show you that. But this is the highlighter I put right underneath it just to give that nice crisp arch there. All right, So I'm going to go back in and do it again just in case somebody's popping in late, or if you want to catch it, catch how I do it again. All right, so again, I'm going in with the darker shade. And by the way, y'all, I am going to do a giveaway in this group tonight. So keep your eyes peeled. I've been telling some of you all, I messaged and gave you a heads up about it. So again, I'm just taking that darker shade and just doing a line right at the top with my brow brush. I'm just tracing, think kindergarten coloring. And I'm just tracing my natural brow. So I'm doing the tail. And again, if you popped in, the start of your brow should be about right here. The arch, if you did your brow like that, and the end, the tail would be if you moved it that way. All right, so now I'm going to take it again and trace the bottom. So yeah, I'm gonna do a giveaway in here, and if you haven't heard me talk about it or didn't see my post previously, our waterproof mascara comes out tomorrow in black, and our brown Epic mascara comes out tomorrow. So if you are, you know, prefer a brown mascara, they finally are here. I've had a couple people that have been waiting for it, so I'm excited for you guys. All right, so again, I'm just tracing, and then now, oops. And if you mess up, that's okay, because it's a powder, it comes right off. So once I get it, it's a lot harder to do when you're talking. So once I get it traced out like that, I don't do the front, I leave it open on the end. I go in with that lighter shade again. And again, I use a lot of the lighter shade, you can tell. I'm just gonna go in with that lighter shade, and I'm gonna start at the tail and fill it all in. So just like coloring. And if you haven't heard this before, you've not watched any lives from me, or any other presenters, but brows are sisters, not twins. So don't freak yourself out about making them perfect, because that will really stress you out. It's not going to happen. Unless you probably had it professionally tattooed in. Okay, so again, just filling it in with that lighter shade. It does take a minute, but to me it's worth it to have it frame my face. So you see it's a little darker still because I haven't brushed it out. So I use the spoolie. You can tell the difference right there on that. So once I fill it in, go back to my spoolie that I had and just gently brush through it to get any excess off. So it just looks a little bit natural, more natural. And then I go back in with that wax again, just use my ring finger, and I just kind of set it with that wax. Because if I use the brush, I can totally use the brush to put it on again, but I spend a lot of time just putting it on. I don't want to brush it right back out, and I've definitely done that before. So I'm going in with that highlighter right underneath it, and that, y'all, is how I do my brows. Now, if you wanted just to use your brow pencil, you could do the same technique that I just did, outline with the brow pencil, and then use hair-like strokes to go back in and fill it in if you want to use a brow pencil, or a brow pencil you already have. Just make sure you have a spoolie to brush it back out, because I find with the pencils it can even look a little bit more harsh and not realistic. I am just such a preference to the powders at this point. They make such a huge difference to me. So that is a super quick tutorial. If you're interested, you can get any of the stuff on my website. Stay tuned for a giveaway tonight, and thanks again for joining, y'all. Bye.